Hey friends, quick note about this episode before we dive into the conversation. You will notice pretty quickly that Ben's camera was a little moody this week and his is a little blurry. So we debated whether or not to post it, but we just thought that this conversation would be really helpful for you guys. And it also has a lot of those little fun, candid moments between Ben and I that you guys always tell us you love. So we thought we'd post it anyway. If that bothers you too much, you are welcome to listen to the audio. We are going to link down below Apple and Spotify if you'd rather listen there. And we just thank you again for rolling with us on this journey. We are learning and we are growing together. So thank you for sticking with us, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Let's jump in. Do you have a hard time clocking out when your business partner is someone that you're married to? This episode is for our married entrepreneur friends out there.
Mm-hmm.
We are in the same position, and we just thought that we would bring you into real life with us today. This is my husband, Ben. I am Kristen. And just as we navigate different seasons of life and transition into different things, maybe business changes, school changes, number of children change.
Yeah, change.
Our needs change, right? And so as we are in a current season of change, navigating change, we have decided on these 7 rules.
The rule lady comes out to play.
I love rules, and I got him to agree with me on this. So they're a great idea.
They're super
And we
great.
thought this would be really helpful to share. And maybe these are things that you're already doing to ultimately just protect your marriage and your home life as you're building businesses together, or a business together, or just working together. And so these are things that we have recently, we're in the middle of this. This is like real true life of things that some of these things we were already doing, and some of these things we needed to kind of tighten up on. And so we sat down and we came up with 7 rules that we are both going to agree to in this current season of our business to protect our married life and our home life with our family.
I feel like you really love this one.
I love this so much.
This is going to be your favorite
episode. I
episode.
just lit up when I got to say rules.
You're just beaming.
I'm beaming.
She's literally beaming from just ear to ear.
Okay, let's get into the rules.
Okay, but here's the thing though. Like, I think as we talk about this, these things will change.
Yes.
You have to navigate as life changes, because now we're starting business number 2, like officially. And so like it's a whole different dynamic again. So now we're readjusting our rules so that we have a successful marriage.
Yeah.
And ultimately that's why we're having this conversation today. Practical things, tips, tricks that we can hope that, we help actually, couples get maybe unstuck, or like something's like that friction, and maybe they can just make some rules. Prove.
And these are things, like some of these things we've gotten from other people. And so maybe we'll inspire you today, and we would love to hear yours, because I would love more rules. So in the comments after this episode, please, or pause right now and write down below some of the things you use to protect your marriage and your family life. Number 1,
no talking business on date night.
This is a really good one.
This is actually really important.
Yeah.
Because date night is, like, if you're not having a date night, and I know we've talked about this in multiple episodes, but we will continue to talk about it. So you might get tired, or like, oh my gosh, saying it again. Yes, we are. Because that means you're not doing it. If you're all like up in arms that it's like a date night again, yes, go on a date night. And as business owners, to not bring up business on a date night is tough.
Very tough.
Because also, like, we get excited, and especially like in different seasons, and as we're growing and we're trying different things, especially with the legacy shift, we're doing different things, we're implementing different things, we want to try different things. So it's like what we're doing, what we're talking about it, what we're working on. So naturally, especially since we are doing it together, it's easy just to keep on talking about it. But the legacy shift will be here forever.
Yeah.
And so will our relationship, though.
Legacy shift means nothing if you and I fall apart.
That's right.
Or stop connecting. Like, the reason this is special is because you and I connect and are intentional about that time. And so it's like, if we don't have anything to talk about, that's a problem. And I see what you're saying, that it's easy, because what do you do when you go out with each other and go do something. You talk about the things you're mutually passionate about.
Right.
And so like, hey, this is the thing I thought about today. So even if it's good,
Yeah.
we're not just talking about like work stress of like problems, but even the good stuff. It's like, we might think that's okay, but it's just, if that's all we ever talk about, I want to value you for you.
Yeah.
And be like we talked about, like cultivating our friendship and just
Because that's where things kind of come in, like on the like that back door, like where it's like in the front, like everything's rolling, it's great. We're excited, we're on a mission, and our passion is together doing this thing. But then those like, because we all have we're our own self, like right, we're a person. We have likes, dislikes, interests that are outside of the big picture of doing the business, right? And so if we're only talking about that, well, it's like we've talked so many times before, like if an interest changed in like a personal thing and like you had no idea, and then down the road, that's like a little landmine that like got like set.
Yeah.
That's just why I just kind of see that as like a landmine where a little ignore of a new personality change that now you like doing this, not like this anymore. Like the toilet paper going one way and then versus now I like it the other way. It's like, what? But if you didn't know that and you didn't talk about it because you're only talking about business, those little moments, those little things, it's like setting little like landmines up. So then down the road, when maybe business isn't as fun anymore, or in the season of like a dip, those landmines start like blowing up.
Yeah. Because you weren't paying attention.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what happened? Like, where did we go? Like, what happened? It's like, because it's only, if your only focus is on the business in the good seasons too. Like, that's like that tricky thing. Cause it's especially like new businesses or like a new season where you got like a new contract or new clients. It's so exciting. It's so fun. You're implementing new things, but it's just like, well, wait a minute. Like, that's good. And we want, like, that's the thing is like, we want your business to be so successful and that you're just killing it. But on the flip side, we want your marriage to be successful and killing it too. So
you're not sacrificing one
right.
for the other.
So making sure that on a date night, or not happy because you can go to lunch still on a business meeting and still talk about business and do that. But when it's date night, scheduled date night, it's you and I not talking about business. And we did that.
We did that.
Just recently.
Talk about the food. Talk about what you're eating. Talk about the weather.
Talk
about vacations, dream. I think that's a big, we even did this last night because one of our favorite things that we used to do was just to drive around in fancier neighborhoods and just dream. And so no matter what that looks like to you, like there was a season we lived in an apartment. And so driving around a fancy neighborhood dreaming is like, we live in the neighborhood like that. Now we live in the neighborhood we used to dream about, which is really cool. That was like a dream fulfilled by God, which is really cool. But now it's like, we can keep dreaming. Mm-hmm. It's not the end. And so like recently just driving around again. And when you go out of town, if you're on trips, like find the fancy neighborhood and drive around and just kind of dream or go and do fun things together to build new interests. And sometimes you don't know what you like until you get out and do it. And that brings unity and there's more bonding. There's more like mutual bonding. And that's what strengthens you. I think what comes to mind even as you're talking about that is because you can be like great business partners and lose the marriage. Mm-hmm. And I even think of like clients in the past that are divorced but still working together.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah,
how sad that is. Like those couples just came to mind that they're crushing it in business still. Right. And yet somewhere along the line, they found the business more important than the marriage, investing in it. And so cool, they're still in business together, but like how sad.
Also awkward.
Also awkward. Mm. But like, if you could still make it work in business, like why did we give up on the marriage? Like why was that? How does that happen? And it's kind of like you said, it's the little things that just go unnoticed. And we stop looking at each other as a romantic partner, life partner, but as a business partner. And so making sure that we're investing in both versions of our spouse.
Yeah. And that just takes intentionality, I think, is because it's intentionality.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah. And like calling each other on it in a really gentle way when the other one does bring up business. Hey honey, remember we're not talking about that tonight?
You do that all the time.
Yeah, but it's so gentle, right?
No, I mean, I have to correct you all the time.
Really? Wow.
Come on, they all know that's not true.
They all know it.
All right.
Rule number 2.
Rules number 2. No talking business in your bed. Whoa.
We went there.
We went there.
We went there.
There it goes.
I saw a funny thing that was like, no, when your head's on the pillow, don't talk about payroll. Your pillow isn't for payroll. It was something
Like
clever.
pillow talk.
But it's also true. Yeah, it was about pillow talk. Can you quote it right?
No.
But you get the point. But it's true. Because it can be like once you lay down, your head is spinning and you're thinking about business again. It can be easy to, an idea pops up or how to fix the situation or, and your bed is reserved for rest. And you're like staring at me very intently to see how far I'm going to go.
Yeah, I kind of see. I'm just kind of see.
We're not ready for that kind of episode yet, okay? But rest and intimacy is what should be happening in the bed. That's a sacred place. And so like keep business out of it because you don't want to bring stress in. So back to that, like it could even be good things, but how easily does a good conversation about business kind of turn into stress or that's a great idea, but wait, how are we going to find the money for that? Or who's going to do that? And it all of a sudden your mind kind of is spinning and you're no longer in the right frame of mind to be laying down in your bed. Yeah.
Yeah. I think because it's easy to, especially if you have kids and then, kids are no matter like depending on the age too, like if they're out kind of doing their thing, video games or playing whatever.
Depending on the floor plan of your house.
Right. And it's easy to like escape to the room for a sec.
Yeah.
And then you're talking business, but now you're in the bed, So having even like the in-home office even too, because sometimes depending on where it's laid out, it's loud and the kids are just, having fun and dogs are having fun with the kids. And it's just, so it's just really fast. And the next thing you know, it's like an hour and a half or 2 hours and, you're only talking business in there. So I think even just making it a practice of no matter what time of day, like
that's good. Not
just bedtime, but no matter the time of day, just don't talk business in bed.
Yeah.
And like making that like a no business zone,
Yeah.
for just because it's easy to be like, well, we just in the afternoon, maybe if we escape in here. But then it's like, but that can trickle into like when we tuck the kids into bed, come back in and we're still talking about business.
Yeah.
Because that's a tough one for us too, right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, we've done that a ton.
Yeah.
Just on their phones, like doing AI stuff or like creating new like email, like MailChimp stuff, or, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Or your phone's in there because we plug it in next to our bed and then, oh wait, there's I'm just setting my alarm, but like, no, there's notification. And then down this rabbit trail we go of then I want to share it with you. And then we talk about it. And it's like, okay, at some point, literally like setting business hours essentially. And then especially once you walk through your bedroom doors, that should be like this place of
like the sanctuary
retreat.
People like the retreat, the sanctuary, like you hear like, especially if you watch any like home design shows or those, all the shows that we like to watch, like they make that room, that place where it's like come to relax,
rest, recharge.
And so maybe it is like setting it up in a way where you can just like retreat to it, make it a retreat. Like a bucket of a gallon of paint is, why did I say a bucket? That's pretty sad. a gallon of paint is not very much.
I would say a bucket of paint.
Yeah, I mean you can get a bucket, but yeah.
What if you need more than a gallon?
In a couple gallons
for one wall.
Well, it depends on the color. But what I'm saying is, you can make an accent wall. Like you could just like kind of like spice it up and like make
it a place you want to be,
right?
Rather than because I think we subconsciously associate places and spaces with the feelings we have when we're in them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then if our bed, like sitting on our bed having a conversation about business, turns into tension, then when I go sit on my bed next time, like if we do that enough, we're kind of programming ourselves.
So I want to flip us a little bit on that same talk with the bed.
Yeah.
Why are you so?
I don't know.
You're fine. I'm not gonna throw you under the bus here.
Really
nervous. So in this talk about business, but what about keeping the intimacy in the bedroom, talking about like even financial bills, other things. could put a damper on the intimacy in the bedroom as well.
Yeah.
If that's like, because it's like you're escaping to the bedroom to like have a quiet moment from the kids and everybody that may be living in your house. Naturally, you go to your bedroom, lock the door, and you sit on the bed.
Yeah.
So it's like almost like get a couch in there, a chair, two chairs.
Or like the little bench at the end of your bed.
Yeah, to
Whatever
like
you have room for.
maybe just like make it that like subconsciously, like we're not going on the bed to talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even about any of that stuff. Just to
Mhm.
keep like that intimacy of like the
Yeah.
bedroom, you know?
Well, and I've even told the kids, and I know different people are different, so this is just my thing. Um, but I've told the kids too, like, not to act crazy in our room. Like,
Yeah,
if
no,
I'm in
yeah.
there sitting on the bed, like reading or whatever I'm doing, like, don't come busting in and jump on the bed because they'll do that. Like, run up the stairs and they're excited, or they'll race up the stairs and
Like
then they just,
flop
and the way
down.
our house is, our doors right at the top of the stairs, and so they just bust in and like, and to me, it's just that like that jolting, jarring. Like I don't
Right.
want my bed to be that feeling where I'm almost like, I don't know, like uneasy and restless. I can't relax there
Mhm.
because I never know when someone's going to come plowing through the door.
Right.
So I've had to train the kids like that's our bedroom is a safe place. Like it's a sacred place. Like
Yeah.
I've used this
Nerf
language
gun
with them.
wars not happening here.
No. And you don't
Like,
so then you and Lincoln specifically will have little throw stuffed animals at each other from around the
you
door.
know, which is
And I told him that, so then I have to be on guard that a giant dinosaur is going to come flying at me while I'm sitting on my bed. Like that's not my favorite thing.
it's not.
So
It's
yeah,
just setting
and there's
those
so many other
setting the
places to play.
boundaries
I'm not
and
trying to like ruin our kids' childhood,
yeah,
but
there's
that's
just
just one
boundaries
rule.
and stuff. And I think it's just like maybe it's like, man, you guys are really extreme about that. But it's like if you think about a lot of the problems with intimacy in marriage, like
Mhm.
it's like think about like reverse engineer like why we're having these problems
Yeah.
and with intimacy. And like, yeah, like you can talk about all the past stuff and this, but what are you doing in the present? Like what are you doing now currently in like the place of intimacy that could be affecting the like that atmosphere?
Yeah, especially if you have young kids.
Yeah. So like just protecting like that space. I think I mean it's a thing that's always changing, always like and especially as kids get older and so but it's just I think talking business, talking anything that's not just you and I, husband
Yeah.
and wife
Keep
is
it a retreat,
yeah.
safe place.
This and just like it's like a mindset shift of like no, like we're not talking about this here, you
Yeah.
know. Because it's easy like you said, falling asleep, oh babe, this da 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 like business thing or this bill or this whatever, and then it's just like this creates like tension and things that you don't need.
And that's like one of the biggest challenges anyway for an entrepreneur is like you never clock out. You are a
Right.
business owner. Like you don't get to clock out and just go home and chill like a regular employee does. It follows you everywhere you go. You're in charge of that thing and that sense of ownership. And so you need to, for your own mental health, even,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be able to unplug, disconnect at some point, whatever hour that makes sense for you and your rhythm and your schedule, 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., whatever that looks like and works for you and your family. Clock out, plug in the phone.
Well, you
Yeah.
just started number 3.
Did I? What's number
You
3
did.
again?
Yep. Phones down when your spouse is talking.
Oh, I love this one so much.
You made these rules just
I made them and he
mm,
agreed.
you're
But you
blessing.
agreed. You have to say you agreed.
I did agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So phones down when your spouse is talking, but this is a great one too. Even so, like continuation for the bedroom because it's easy just to be on your phone scrolling, and then there's no connection there. But like so now we're leaving the bedroom. We've beaten that hammer, right?
You.
I don't know. Anyways, you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
So got that down. So now just anytime talking. Now I might struggle with this.
You're a work in progress.
I am a work in
I'm
progress.
being patient. It's okay.
She is the most patient person.
Well, and
possible.
I've learned how I need to respond to it too. So
Yeah.
it's been a work on both sides.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
So talking. So it's easy as a business owner, or I guess it's not even a business owner.
As a human being,
As this in 2025, if
With a
you have
phone.
a phone, all the notifications, the dings, it's about everything because you get a notification literally about everything, right?
Yep.
So, but especially as a business owner, when you have employees and emails and customers and products and sales reps and whoever needs your attention, But the most, I think, what I've been learning, I'll put this on myself, even though you made the rule. But what I've been learning is like it shows you that I don't value you because when I look at my phone while you're trying to tell me something, that I'd say like you're not important. What's on my phone is more important.
Yeah.
That's how you feel.
Yeah. Well, it kind of goes back to the whole interrupting. It's like a similar thing that what you're telling me when you interrupt me is that you don't value what I have to say. And so when I speak up to say something and you're staring at your phone,
Mm-hmm.
that makes me feel like you don't care what I have to say. And what I've learned in it though is because sometimes I'll like walk around the corner and start saying something as I'm like walking in the room and I'm expecting you to be listening and have your attention and you're on your phone. And I realized like it can't be an instant, like I'm talking to you, put your phone down.
Right.
But it's like I walked in on you're maybe texting a customer, you may be writing an email, you might be. And I say this from a place of compassion and understanding because as a content writer, as a, like all the things that I do, you kind of get in a zone, especially when you're in mid conversation with someone,
Mm-hmm.
that your mind is on that. Maybe you're thinking about what to say. And so you finally catch the rhythm and like you're typing it out really fast. You don't want to forget what you're thinking. There's so many reasons,
Yeah.
And so like you want to get this done. And whereas in that moment, I'm kind of interrupting you with this, whatever your interaction
Go
is.
on. Yeah, this is good.
And so I can wait and be patient. And so I've had to learn, and I never want it to come out like snarky because it could, but there's been times when I'm like, I just want you to know, like, actually, like when you're done, like, I'll wait, like, or when you're done, let me know or something, It's like, I don't remember how I phrase it, but I'm not trying to be like passive aggressive when I say it, but it really is just like, no, actually literally
No, I
finish
think
what you're
you've
doing. And then I
learned,
have something to
especially
say.
like, yeah, if you've learned that, like, if I'm in writing an email to a customer, that like I'm trying to get it done, or like, I have like multiple things that I'm emailing, and that like I do this and flipping that one, and this
Yeah.
one's talking to me, this employee's calling me, or
Yeah.
so
You
you
already do
realize
10
that.
things at once.
So you've realized that
Yeah.
it's taken us a bit to like figure it out,
Yeah.
but like so like, hey, just so it kind of like, but when you do that, it kind of gets my attention that like you need something too.
They're like, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Or like,
So
I'm
it's
ready
like
when you
versus
are.
like you're not just like there to like hang out, because sometimes you just come and chill, like want to hang out in the office or whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes like no, I need to tell you something. So
Yeah.
I think you've done a good job of like adapting.
Thanks, honey.
You're welcome.
So it's more so like if I'm literally in the middle of telling you a story and then you pick up your phone,
Right.
that's a problem.
That's the
Or it buzzes and then you pick it up and look at it.
yeah.
Those two things are like the ouch, honey.
Yeah. Yeah. So
You
it's
know?
just, and I think because as a business owner, you get those notifications all the time.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something. I think that's the thing that if you've been in business for a bit, there's always going to be something. Like it doesn't matter. Like it could be the grass is green, the birds are chirping, like there's the rainbow's out, like, but there's always something.
Yeah.
Like even though it's not like like this big explosion, there's something. So I think knowing that like that could wait because like there's no like dire need of like right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess there's sometimes there might be, but
also, if you were legitimately busy with something else, you wouldn't have seen it anyway.
exactly.
Like, what if you were in the shower?
If you were in the shower,
What if you were on the phone, on the phone
literally in a
call?
meeting with somebody else,
Yeah, they're
like,
going to wait anyway.
Yeah.
It can wait 5 minutes or
Yeah.
2 minutes or whatever. So I think it's respecting and valuing your spouse more than whatever the notification could be, even if it's a conversation with someone, not just a silly notification.
Because in the end of because it's the balance of you two being in business together, but you also are married. Number one, you're first married together. So because a lot of times you're bringing something up that's not related to business, and just want to like tell me you're talking and tell me a story or tell me something that's going on that's unrelated to business. That's more important than whatever's going on in business. And so just like making sure your values and priorities are set right.
And also knowing when to ask, because even if it is business, we have different roles in the business, right? So if I'm going deep down some advertising, social media marketing thing and get this idea, well, you're deep in like customer interaction, sales, finance, like whatever you're doing, it is kind of an out of left field thing in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's more of me discern, like kind of just knowing hey, I wanted to talk about this. Like, is now a good time or should I come back? Or, those kinds of things. So I think it all comes down to communication ultimately, and respecting each other's.
Yeah, I think just bringing it to light and being aware.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't know that you're doing that, or yeah, I think it's just like it is we develop habits that just like it dings, you pick it up.
Yeah.
It's
It's like
just
a
like
reflex. It's like a sick reflex.
Well, yeah, we're all. I mean, whether you're a business owner or not, like
You always know where your
even
phone
to see
is.
like
It's
kids
very
nowadays too
close.
do it. Just like their
Yeah.
phone, like it dings and you got to see what's going on. So
Mhm.
it's just like being like conscious of that what you're doing, especially like because it comes down to this valuing your spouse, and that's so this rule that's like the priority is like you value your spouse more than what's going on
Yeah.
in your dings of the notification world.
Yeah.
So
And so either saying like, hey, when you have a minute, I have something, or if I've walked in and noticed, or sometimes we're sitting in the same room and you'll be on your phone and I'll just start talking because I maybe saw something on my phone
mhm.
and then I notice you're doing something. I'll just like stop talking and then wait. And there's sometimes you're like so deep in what you're doing that you don't even know that happened.
Right.
But there's other times when you'll like be doing, or you'll say, I'm listening. And I'm like,
No,
you're
you're not.
kind of
Well,
not.
you've learned to do not to stop too,
Yeah.
and just like because sometimes you would still, then I wouldn't really catch it fully. So
Yeah.
we're learning. Like I said, like
Yeah.
these are just like rhythms that
We're
like we're
learning.
picking up and learning on as we're growing and developing businesses and
We're just realizing how
yeah,
important they are, which is why they're rules. They're not that have perfected these things, but
right,
like these are things we are purposing to work on.
right.
Yeah.
So number 4 is a funny one,
Hmm.
but I guess it's one that you love, I think, too. I guess all
Yeah.
these rules you just really love. But use a code word for enough shop talk.
Or you can just say it, but I just thought like maybe we should have a code word to where, because here's the deal. I've tried to do this in subtle ways and sometimes you don't get it. And so
I'm
that's
just
where,
really passionate.
and
I
so
just
sometimes
love
I know
I
to
just
tell your
love doing
stories or to
business
talk
and
through this
like
thing
this thing that's
or to rant.
thought provoking thing.
I know.
This new thing that we're gonna do.
I know. It's so great.
it's so
But sometimes,
great.
like, I clocked out 30 minutes ago in my mind, and you're still talking about this thing. And so, honey, I really love you and I love your passion, but like, I can't anymore. I can't listen to this anymore. You
Oh,
know?
yeah,
Do you know?
I do. But
Because I probably do that to you.
the problem is when we go back to you're my best friend, and
Yeah.
this is what we're
You want me to know
what's actually
everything.
funny is I do, but what's funny is like one of my really close friends, she'll say, just go call him. Go call go call Eric. And you guys just
Yeah. I'm like, that's probably should be our code word is
yeah,
Eric.
call Eric.
Because I'll just be like, honey, I think you should go call Eric.
Call Eric.
I think he would love to hear about this and
Yeah.
love to, because I just can't, part of it, here's what it is. It's a selfless, I just can't match your energy on this right now. And what you want is someone that can like banter back and forth and just like
We'll fire it
take
up.
it to a whole other level.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not in that place. And so I'm so sorry. But how about you call Eric and you guys can just like go there together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just get each other all fired up.
Yeah.
And sometimes like 8:30 p.m. I'm not here for it,
Or
you know?
8:30 a.m.
Or that time either. So yeah, this is this is a brand new one.
Yeah.
This is real fresh reality.
It's always it's always been a thing.
Yeah. Because we're different people. We hit that point at different times. And we also have a different capacity for like what we like to talk about and for how long. So especially as you have different roles and different things, like even with this stuff, like the camera gear and the microphones, and like I've never been shopping for cords like so many times in my life.
So
And
fun.
so, and you'll try to say like, you'll try to bring me along on this mentally. And I'm just like, I don't even have the capacity to
You don't
try
even
to
have
learn that.
room. You don't have
I have
enough space.
I'm saving my mental space for things that like are more pertinent to what I do,
Pertinent.
my role. And so who could you call and talk to about chords and ISO and shutter speeds?
Hey,
You know?
you're learning.
No, I know nothing more than that. I know those words. I don't know anything about them.
No, it's I think cuz it's all about the personality of the person too in that relationship. Cuz me like I can bounce from one thing to another all fired
Yeah.
up and then just like doing the thing. But then where you're like, you're Premiere Pro and you're doing these
Which is
captions
new for
and
me. So
you're
I'm
doing
like,
the Canva and you're editing this and you're creating this and you're doing this with AI. And so it's just like a whole different world, which I can jam on with it too with you.
yeah,
But then it's just like, but then I can get even too much into that. Where you're just like, all right,
I
dude,
know. I'm
like
like,
call
okay, that
Eric.
was good. We're good.
Call Eric.
Pineapples.
Girl pineapples. So yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it'll be like one of the couples. I can, you know what I mean? Because if you're both are like that, it might just be
You
like
just never
I
shut
think you'll
off.
come to like a point of the day where it's like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because there are days that I have
Well,
that
at
too.
some point, if you have children, like go be with your family,
Right.
like talk about family stuff, talk about what you're going to do tomorrow. What
You're
are you going
just
to do next week?
transitioning so
Just
good.
seamless transitions.
My goodness, this girl's killing it tonight. So number 5, which brings us to a great transition,
really
is
good one.
kids come before clients.
Eh,
So
yeah.
if you're just a client pleasing person, this is going to be a tough one for you.
If you're at their beck and call, especially if you get, because I think one of the things for you is you've gotten so much praise from customers over the years
Yeah.
for your great communication.
Yeah.
And it's like, has that always been healthy on the other end,
Yeah. I think through our first business,
Mhm.
that was a thing that I learned that like it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because like I would always like took pride in responding within like quick
Mhm.
emails, texts, a phone call back. I mean talking like all hours of the night.
Yeah.
Like just on it.
Late night.
And like so much praise from customers about like how responsive you are and you were the only one to respond and like so quick and
I always knew
like
what was going on with the project.
yeah, just
and
all
It's
this
in all your Google reviews.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
And um but then realizing like they can wait.
At what expense?
Yeah, at what
home.
so it's just like they can wait. I mean, I still respond pretty quickly, but at the end of the day, like it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like a 24-hour. So I've adjusted that too, of just like my response time for text, email, like within like 24-hour like window and stuff for
Mhm.
some things like doesn't matter. And especially like I think because if you're always just like that responsive, like you can never like dive into like doing something with your kids because
Mhm.
you're always like that notification thing going back to the phone, like a ding or call, and then you're stepping out when you could just like be sitting down. Like so, Lincoln right now is like loves aggravation. Like
Mhm.
this game. I don't know if you've never played it.
Every day.
It's
Multiple
it's an
times a
alright game.
day.
You should play it.
It's really
but
simple,
It's
so it's
simple.
easy.
Like it's great. Like he loves it. But
He always
this
gets out
kid
of the
just
base
loves it,
first.
right?
Really great
So
at
you can
rolling
get set
dice.
up to play it, and
Yeah.
then notification or a call. So then it's like now it takes you away from that to answer that really fast. But he's just like sitting there and just wants to play. So it's like if you look at it out from the lens of like what it's doing to their little heart,
Yeah.
and that should like it should change something in you. You know what I mean? We can grow the biggest business, $1 billion business, but if your kids like want nothing to do with you, then like what's the point of it? Like you'd
Yeah.
have a bunch of money for you and that's it. Like they don't know you. They never got to hang out with you. I think that's the sad part of like when you put the clients first.
Yeah.
And I think even like as like the solopreneur guy that's out there grinding, coming home late because he's working, kind of like I did, before. And then, they wanted to play basketball or but you're just exhausted because you're trying to get the jobs done and it's only you out there doing it. And so you're just come home just like beat. And um, obviously that's you can see it on him too, how like sad that is.
Yeah. Because they wait all day for you to come home.
Right.
And
It's like
then
that
they're
that
told
thought
no.
too of like, um, this is non-related, but maybe if you're a dog or cat person, like this could, because they call them their kids too, right? But it's like the dog's like lifespan,
Mm.
like is only so long, but like you are like its whole world.
To you, they're just a chapter,
Yeah,
but
there
to
you go.
them, you're the whole book.
See, preach. So think about that, and then your kids too. Like you're only young for so long.
Yeah.
Like
They
just a
change
small
so
chapter. They're
fast.
always changing things they're interested in, things that they're like, but and they're also developing things of how things are going in the home.
Yeah.
So there's like
They're
rhythms
taking
and
note, whether
like
they're aware of it or not, of
exactly. So
everything.
they are changing, and hopefully it's always for the good, not for the bad,
Yeah.
not for little attitudes and stuff. But it's like, are you helping these little attitudes by ignoring them, not giving them any attention? So now they're trying to seek attention from somewhere else. So it's just these little tips and tricks that we're hoping. And I'm just like reflecting too, just like from like my dad, the same thing. Like he would come home exhausted, because he worked, he did all the work, and then so wanted to play basketball, but he was just too tired. And it's just like always like a bummer, just like, oh well, he's always tired, he's always working. And it's like, and so that's how you develop that. Dad's always busy, he's always tired, he's always working. And fast forward to myself, did the
Yeah.
same, started doing the same thing,
Yeah.
but it's like, then it's like now you're as an adult, you get it. 'Cause it's like, well, shoot, because it's like I have to get it done,
Yeah.
but it's like at what cost, as we say. So,
Well, and that's the tension I feel like we're walking right now as a family, and me and you, obviously, leading the household, is that we're trying to build this in the name of generational legacy, setting our kids up, not just financially, but just in everything that we're doing and bringing them along with us. And yet, how much we can get tunnel vision on building that we could so easily push them to the side. And I think kids can feel like they're the distraction rather than the point of all of it.
mm,
And so kind of like you were like, kind of like the rules with the phones and all that. It's like, if I don't feel valued, if I'm being treated like an interruption cause we're talking about that with each other, but how much more so with our kids. And so even for me, like when I get in editing mode or I'm just like deep in the computer, and because I work from home and I homeschool, I'm home when I'm doing the work. Whereas like, some parents get to leave the house and then the kids are either at school or they're at daycare or whatever the dynamic might look like. But the parent is out of the home and gets to do the work. Well, I've had a lot of guilt I've had to wrestle with over the years of I'm home and I have to do this work too. I don't get to leave the building to go
mm,
do it. So like you see me right here and it looks like I'm ignoring you. It looks like I'm distracted. It looks like I'm putting work first. But like if I had a part-time job outside of the house, it'd be the same thing, like it's just, but they're little children and they want attention from mom, or from dad if you're
mhm.
home. And so I think for me, it's just had to be, even when they come in the room, like stop what I'm doing, make eye contact. I think eye contact is like a superpower for a parent. And that's all the kid wants is, I think we underestimate how much just a little bit of quality time will go when we're actually connecting with them, especially individually, like each one of them individually. So like with Lincoln, with that game, if I just sit and play like 2 or 3 rounds, because you can't play one.
No.
If you play like 2 or 3 rounds of that game, and then if we tie, we have to do another one. And then, well, that wasn't right. So now we have to do another one. But if I just sit and do that and like really truly connect in the way he wants to connect, then he'll play near me or like outside of the room and let me do work. And there's no guilt. There's none of that. Like, mom, when are you going to be done? There's none of that. And so I think as long as we connect intentionally, even for a little bit of time, like that fills their cup,
Mm-hmm.
that fills their heart. They feel seen by mom and dad. They feel loved by mom and dad. And then even Cameron last night, like washing the car with you, which was so cool to see her like light up to get to do that. We've always been pay the car wash people to wash the car family. But it was kind of funny and really sweet because I remember when I remember growing up and going out and washing the car with my dad. And so that was a cool moment to see her wash the car with you. We're new at home car wash folks.
Yeah, because car washes they just
They
rip
can
your car all
damage.
up.
Yeah. And so it's like, if you want to, it's right here. And also that opportunity, it's another opportunity to teach the kids hard work and put your hands to something. And
yeah, she was doing great.
yeah, she asked to help and she loved it. And she talked about it for a while after that, which was so cool. And so those little moments to like build into them. And that was something special. she got to do with dad. And yes, she might have asked me if she gets paid for that, but I still
She
think
what? Oh my.
since this isn't one of my regular chores, Mom, do I get paid for that?
Good night.
I know, but when I told her no, I think I told her no, or I said you have to ask your dad. I can't remember, but she's like, now she's set on like every Saturday I get to wash the car with dad, and eventually she'll do it herself, even, or we'll do it together, or Lincoln will come help. But it's just like that's a cool moment of just this special connection because Lincoln tried to help, got distracted because his friends were across the street at the park, so off he went. But like that got to be something special with her and you.
Hmm.
That was really sweet. So those little moments where they feel seen and connected with you are, you can't get those back.
Right.
So yes, they are more important than clients, and they need to know that they are.
But I think too, even like bringing them along as much as you can, even for like so estimates or checking on a job or whatever, however, whatever rhythm of your business, like bringing them to the office. I think just including them as much as you can.
Letting them help with stuff.
Yeah.
Refilling the water bottles in the office fridge.
Yeah.
Or those little
There's
things.
just a lot of things that they can do, and then just like have a sense of value and like feel like, oh yeah, and then just like encourage them. And
Yeah. I'm a part of
that's-
building.
I think because as she was like, for an instance of like Cameron cleaning the car, she was like really getting into the detail of like making sure there was no soap left. I was like, that's what I was telling her, like the most important part, making sure there's no soap, like because like obviously when you go to the car wash, you got the blowers and it kind of blows it off, right? But like at home, like we have to do that. We have to make sure with like little crevices and like, oh look, there's soap there. Oh, there's soap there. So just like, and just like the detail work, and I was like congratulating her on just like, being detail oriented. That's great, and like checking it out. So, um, but just like encouraging them too,
Yeah.
and then just like, and then so adding value, seeing them, and that they are more important than the client. And then too, like, I think one thing with just on that note, you've taught me, like if I'm gonna be on the phone with a client, to let them know, just so that they, if they call or something, if I'm at the house,
Yeah.
and then I can letting everybody know, like, hey, I just need to make this call really fast. That way they know, like, just like kind of chill for a sec and don't get all cray. And then
Don't start wrestling.
don't start wrestling.
on the other side
We're
of the
not
wall.
doing American Ninja Warrior right now. Just give me a second. And then versus like, hey, quiet down. And it's like, oh, that's always yelling, or because it just the perception of
Yeah.
is what they can like internalize when you don't communicate, or like ignore and just like yell, or however
Yeah.
be quiet, I'm trying to be on the phone. It's like you just were to let them know, hey guys, I'm gonna be on the phone really fast, just chill for a second.
Yeah.
So
Back to the floor plan of our house, that it shares a wall with where they make all their noise.
right, so just being intentional, and then just letting them know that, obviously, and just letting them see and know that they're valued over it all. So which brings into another point, 6 is
Rule.
no.
Rule
that's right.
6.
No point. This isn't a point. This is a rule. Number 6: no phones or laptops at the dinner table.
Yes.
Which is we've been doing this for a bit.
Yeah, for a long time. And I think that's, kind of everything we've been saying, but this is just another step of that, because it can be so easy, especially if it's like a quick dinner night, run and grab Chick-fil-A, like that kind of thing. I just think family dinner, and there's so many statistics about that if you have dinner as a family, even just one meal a day together, like the statistics of the health and longevity of like your children's soul and how they turn out just from that intentional time as a family is so important. And so that's one we will not sacrifice on. So
Yeah, I
not being
think
distracted.
we even turned like the TV off.
Yeah, no TV.
We've like rearranged our.
Get the dogs out of there.
Yeah, get the dogs out of there. We've rearranged the house anyway, so we can't really see the TV, but we still like pause it, or even like during college football season. Like we don't. I mean, we used to like watch it and stuff, especially with the games on. But like you can always pause it, or we'll feature that meal around like a different time if that's the game that we want to watch.
Yeah.
Because we're an Oregon Duck family. For those that, sorry if you're a hater, but we are in Oregon, so
it makes sense here.
But yeah, so we just like or like we do like the game day snack,
Yeah, we make
food.
it
So
fun. The
yeah.
kids help me plan a meal and we like eat together, and
But
that's
so
the cool
like,
thing about
but
it.
so related to like phones, and so it's easy to like be checking emails, Instagram, um, texting the client, employee. It's just so easy to do that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
think, and if you're not intentional, going back to that, like if you're not intentional, you're gonna keep doing it
Hmm.
and not even realizing it, not even getting it's like because there's like cool conversations that happen at the dinner table,
Yeah.
like
Lincoln's new thing, he goes, "So, what do you guys want to talk about?"
right,
It's so cute. 'Cause it's like, you
yeah.
want to know like what's going on in our life. It's so sweet.
Yeah, so like, but he's only because phones are away, eyes are on the food and who's at the table.
Yeah.
So it's like, so what do you guys want to talk about?
Yeah.
Like just kind of like it's a cool. Like I love how he does that because it's just a cool like. So what do you like? Because it's like we're all here. No
Yeah.
one's on an iPad. No one's watching TV. No
We
one's
don't
on
want
their
to sit
phone.
in silence. That's
Yeah.
awkward.
So it's like what's
What should we talk
yeah.
about?
What should I talk about? So it's a cool
Yeah.
like little thing, but just like a good reminder too. Like it because
Be
even
present
even
with the
the
people that are in front of your face,
that's right.
the people that mean the most to you. It's so easy to scroll and get tuned into your own single device with just you and yourself. And so even when we watch, like, they have their iPad or whatever, when they're like time limits that they get and stuff, but it's like, it's such a single, like solitary activity that it's like, it pulls you out of real world. You forget how to connect with people, and we refuse to create little zombie children.
That's right.
They're going to be kids that know how to speak and carry on a conversation and relate to people around them. And just back to that whole, like, we can get lost in watching other people live their lives on our phones or on TV and forget to live our own. And I think that's when you look up one day and blink and realize your kids are not in a phase of life they used to be and you missed it.
Right.
And so all those little things, like I was even just last night with Lincoln, it's a funny example, but after his bath, I still clip his fingernails and toenails. And he's suddenly too big to sit on my lap. Like there's been this way that he's always sat on me so that I can like really get to like where I need to get, like do a good job. And he's just like officially too heavy to sit on my lap that way. And it's just like no one tells you. Like there's certain things that like no one tells you when it's going to be the last time,
Mm,
you know?
last moment.
Yeah. It's just sad. So like cherish all the moments, So you can't hold on to them or go back in time, but you can at least feel better that like I know that I soaked in every moment I had.
Right. Well, as
I
the
don't have
kids
regrets.
they get older too, because like we look at Bryce and he's getting older,
Yeah.
16 now, and pretty soon like he's not gonna
He's
be.
driving.
Yeah, he's driving, and like the kids that are like the empty nesters, I guarantee you, like the empty nesters listening to this, like would love to go back to those times when they were that young,
Yeah.
or as they were growing up, and the elementary, middle school, high school years, and it's kind of as it all kind of changes, and so like no matter where you're at in the season, and then how much more, because now looking at some of those empty nesters, because like they're friends obviously, and then business friends, and you see them with their kids now, and like how much they just like want to like have that relationship with them, and like
Yeah.
love doing life with them, which is cool to see,
And that they want to.
and the kids want to do life
Mutually.
with them, and
Yeah.
kind of in their businesses together, and so it's just but creating those moments like that or they even like where they leave the house and like they get married or have boyfriends or girlfriends and come back to the house, and oh yeah, at dinner time, like they
Mhm.
just know like, oh yeah, dinner, like as a family, like we don't do phones.
Special. Yeah.
Like I mean those special moments where like when they get older, like they remember too, because those are the things that they remember versus like everybody's just a zombie on their phone, and like nobody ever like checked in. And I think that's a great time to like check in and
Yeah.
just having conversation and kind of seeing where everyone's at,
And
like
when their
it's like
guard's
low
down,
key,
they're more likely to open up about stuff.
yeah.
And that's been fun. Like, what's your favorite vacation we've ever taken? Or like those little moments and questions that we'll ask, and we're sometimes surprised by their answers. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
A bonding.
Okay.
Our last rule
Nope.
for this current season.
We had to limit her to 7.
You told
So
me that was enough.
you're welcome. Number 7 is Sundays are church days and not work days,
Yes.
which this has pretty much always been our rule. But I would say for us, we as a family, like we honor God. Like we honor God 7 days a week
Yeah.
in our business and our marriage and just how we live our lives.
Yeah.
But Sundays we do go to church. And whether we are out of town, we still try to find a church. Which it's always fun to do that too. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We just don't ever like plan vacations to where we're gonna be somewhere like we can't like hit up like a church. I mean, obviously there's situations, but you can always watch it online now, which is cool. But for us as a family, it's just something that we prioritize, and like we want the kids to know that too.
Yeah.
That there's just like we just put value on that, not like in a weird cult way or like God's gonna punish you way, but just a way that we just love going to church and we honor God.
Yeah.
So
I think in the beginning there was a little bit of like you'd go on an estimate during second service or something because like we're leaders in our church and we serve both services. We have 2 services on Sunday. And so we're there all day. We're there early. One of the first ones there, one of the last ones to leave. And like we would have it no other way. Like we just love it. And I think it's because it's so fundamental to just our lives. Like you were saying, like he's done so much for us. Like the least we could do is serve him and love him and help serve our local church. We just like fundamentally believe in that. And so, but there's times when like I remember you'd go on an estimate like random days out of need, like had to, it was the only time in the schedule or something. And I just remember like you show up differently to church because it's like you're kind of thinking about that next, you know? It's almost like I don't know, and maybe in different seasons, different people and their jobs. But like when you work on Sunday, like if you have to rush to work after, it's like, can you really fully, and maybe there's people that are better at this than I would be,
mm,
but like, can you really be fully present in that moment and actually like lean in and hear from God in a service if you're like thinking about how long is this going to go? And what if there's traffic and I have to rush to this thing afterwards? And I don't know, that's just always been like one of my things in my head that um, I want to make sure I can be fully present in the commitments that I've already made and just that we honor God with that day. So I'm not going to, even if it's an email we're returning or that kind of stuff, like we just don't. And I think for us too, it's like creating that margin that when we get home from church, since we're there for a lot of the day on Sundays, that we can spend the rest of the day with our family and honoring our family
mhm.
and resting
We do.
together,
We
refreshing
typically do
together.
that, like the family dinner.
Yeah.
I mean, go like we. I mean, we go out to eat a lot, but like we.
Not this last week.
I know you did great.
I made dinner
So,
5 nights out of 5 nights
um,
at home.
but usually on Sundays we do go out to dinner.
Yeah.
As is like we go somewhere or a frozen yogurt or something. It's just like as a family, kind of like I wouldn't say tradition, but it's just kind of what we do. Um, and obviously you don't want to cook on
I don't want
Sundays.
to cook. Yeah.
So we just kind of make it a family day, and that's like my greatest unlock was as a separate business line. Um, so that phone is completely like off limits basically on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I might check it like at the end of the day or like before like Monday, but that's
But you
about
leave
it.
it at home.
Yeah, but it's at home. It doesn't come with me, which is a great just practice anyways. Because then even that date nights and different times like of the day where your business hours are whatever 8 to 5 at 5 o'clock that thing is on the charger, which is just for me it's worked out because of all these little rules of always being on the phone checking this and like it's just it makes you have self-control
Yeah.
of your need to fulfill a customer's desire.
Yeah.
And I think what I've learned as I'm getting older and I've been in business a little bit longer is that customers actually like respect that a little bit more too.
And
Like
expect it
and expect
that
it.
you have
They
business
actually I
hours.
think that's the thing that like was like a biggest like, oh wow. Is like they did like, oh, I didn't mean you didn't have to get back to me right away. And like
Hmm.
as I heard more customers like say that, I was like, oh wait, I can give him back tomorrow morning. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have to do it right this second at 10 a.m.
It's
10
the beauty
p.m.
of an email, right? I feel
Right.
like DMs are kind of like that too sometimes. It's like, it's not about instant. Like we can pick this up in 7 days and right where we left off,
Still go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, I'm just sending this out there so that you have it. And like, when you're ready, let me know. I mean, obviously there's different time sensitive circumstances that you need to be more prompt, but for the most part, people are expecting if I emailed you at 8 p.m., I'm probably not going to hear back until tomorrow morning, afternoon,
Right.
maybe at the earliest. So like, it's okay. I don't need to respond at 8:15 p.m.
Right.
because they're probably not going to write back either. Like they have a life,
They
you
have a
know?
family too, and
Yeah.
like respecting their family as well.
Yeah.
So
And I
yeah,
think ultimately just the practice for us of because in this hustle and grind culture is we need to give that day to God to remind ourselves that like it's not on us anyway. Like our prosperity, our success, any of that, like it's not because we're so smart, we're so great, we grind so hard. Like it's going to be the favor of God and the grace of God in our lives. And so taking that day to like here like and it's starting the week that way
mm-hmm.
for us. It's not the end. It's not I hustled so hard I earned a day off. It's I'm starting the day with a day of rest so that I'm replenished and ready for the week ahead, and starting it by giving that to God and like where our true strength comes from, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that's a big reminder is that we can act like all our success is on us and it's because I work so hard, but it's like, actually, no,
Yeah.
we would have nothing without him. And
Right.
so here's our reminder that the world is still going to spin if I don't respond to that email today. The earth
Yeah.
is still going to turn.
This I think it's just the boundaries. I think all these rules come down to just setting boundaries. And this is how we have changed. And like I said in the very beginning, is it's the being intentional and setting the boundaries. And in every season, it's gonna change. Like
Yeah.
every season, you might have to reevaluate. Like what we're doing isn't working anymore. Let's change it up because kids grown up, or you started another business, or your business expanded to multiple cities, or however it shapes out and looks, it's gonna change. But the thing is to keep that like keep these rules or these principles or like how the way you live your life, however you want to like word it for
Hmm.
for it to work for your family. Just like always like have it be on like the forefront of your mind of like this is what we're doing. Why? Because we want our relationship, our relationship with each other, our relationship with our kids to actually last a long time
Yeah.
and actually leave a legacy that's worth leaving versus a legacy that like it just kind of like you die and nobody really remembers you
Yeah.
because
And
you weren't ever present.
if you think about like the destruction of a marriage, it's not just randomly one day something blew up. It's because there were little compromises and little things along the way that led to that. And so these are just kind of guardrails to make sure we're being intentional about our marriage,
That's
that
right.
we stay friends, we stay loving each other, we stay valuing each other, seen by each other.
Right.
Because as you stop being intentional with those things, it's like you drift
Yeah.
and you get complacent and we just think it's okay. We're just living our life. And then we look up one day and it's like, wait, how did we get so far apart? Why are we not on the same page anymore? Well, we stopped connecting at some point.
Yeah.
And so how much technology has to do with that these
Mhm.
days, you know, like
Well, I
cell
love
phones.
that. I love that point because it's the little drifting away.
Yeah.
It's the not checking in. It's different seasons change, right? So your kids as your kids get older, now they're in high school. Now they don't need you as much anymore as you thought they did, and you're like trying to still like the moms that like really try to grab on and like
Yeah.
and their high school like no, he's in high school now, like he needs to get his license and go, you know. But
Mhm.
like then they leave the house and like now you're empty nesters, but your whole life was consumed with the kids, or say let's say you sold that business or the business like you or the business kind of stopped and you kind of went a different direction. It's like
Yeah.
if you were only wrapped up and so consumed by these things, like then those like that explosion comes
Yeah.
because like now you and I like, oh, like, well, who are we now?
Yeah.
Because like all we talked about was the business, all we talked about was the kids, our whole life was the kids, our whole life was that business, but now it's who who are we again?
Yeah. You
Who are
lost your
you? Yeah,
connection.
you lost that. Yeah, you lost that love. So these hopefully these principles or these rules will just like kind of bring things to light to like so that you can start. Maybe you guys are doing it, maybe you're killing it. So like
And we want to
yeah, we
hear.
want
I'd
to
love
hear.
some more.
So she wants more rules. So
Or just
DM
other
us,
ideas,
leave
you
them in
know?
the comments of things that you guys might do to kind of like protect your separating business and marriage. Um, any last thoughts?
That's it. Let us know if there were any ideas that you got that you liked
And I think so.
too.
I'll say this too. And maybe like maybe you don't do anything. Maybe you weren't aware of any of it. So maybe it's just a time to have a conversation with your spouse.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like I really feel like we talk about business and our life is consumed with the business, and like I don't even really know you right now. I don't even know what you're interested outside of the business. Has it changed? Is your favorite food changed? What about your favorite color? Like, because it could be like that. Like, you have no idea.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just like starting somewhere, like picking one thing and then just working out something that's like obvious. Like, we really do that a lot.
Yeah.
And
Start
like
with
coming
one.
like together, like doing it to go on that date night that you're not talking about work, you're talking about each other. And then maybe it is just like lay it out. Like, I feel like we do this a lot. Like, let's try and like let's change it. Let's change the course of what we're doing. And I think as you do that, then you kind of nail that, then you can kind of start doing more things. Then you're just growing stronger together.
Yeah. I think don't worry about trying to do so much at once, especially if you haven't done anything or no matter where you're at. Don't try to make so many leaps and bounds immediately because you're doomed to fail,
Right.
essentially, when we like shoot too high. But it's like, what's unattainable? What's one? Kind of like baby steps because you're building habits.
Mm-hmm.
So you're training yourself, and one like
Because
takes a
some
while.
of them are going to be hard to like
Yeah.
stop.
And it takes a while to build a habit. So like focus on one. And once you feel better about that, then maybe bring on something else. And then what's unique to your relationship and your
Yeah,
situation
everyone's different. That's the beautiful thing.
that works for you. Yeah.
Great.
Hope this was helpful. This was sure fun. I can't wait to talk about rules again.
Oh boy.
But yeah, we would love to hear in the comments. So drop a comment down below if there was a takeaway that you had from this episode. And we will see you in the next one.
That's right. So, hey, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe.
It's so easy.
It's so easy.
It's
The little
one little
subscribe button. Subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all the things that we're doing. We are doing some in-person events. We are doing some virtual events. So we want you to be a part. If you own a business, you're married together, like let's do it.